Hello! Welcome to the second part of this series where I compare my gaming PC to the next generation consoles, performance and quality modes. So here we are with Jedi Fallen Order. It's a Star Wars game, the recent title from 2019. It has known issues with frame dips as you can already see. The PC port has frame dips and stutter. Nothing can solve this unless you cap the game at 30 FPS.
Fire! Get in there! Hey, you! Stop! Quick, get him! How's he doing that? Blast him! Where are you shooting?
So, we're playing at Xbox Series X settings, and this is the performance mode that you will find on the Xbox Series X at 1080p with dynamic resolution turned on. The settings are not in epic, so they are a mix of high to medium. So anti-aliasing and post-processing is, I believe, medium on this mode. Dynamic resolution is still on. I do believe it's an issue with the dynamic resolution because I have less frame dips when playing without dynamic resolution on. So anyway, as you can see, this is Xbox Series X settings. The game runs pretty well. It has frame dips and frame stutters, but that's a known issue for this game. It's not a hardware thing, it's not my GPU's fault. This game is just unstable on PC. Every system is really hard to lock at 60 FPS, especially when action comes on. So as you can see, just roaming around, even here, just jumping, you can see there's frame dips, but less of them. And as we are free roaming and there's less action on the screen, there's less frame dips. But when we encounter enemies and we get into fights, you can see all the actions on the screen, and the frame rate just goes down.
Bogling was killed. Was it trying to defend its family? Get in there, buddy. You always find good things.
Now we've come to the Xbox Series X quality mode, which is rendered at 1440p, or the main resolution target is 1440p, although it has dynamic resolution scaling still on the console. So this mode aims at 30 FPS with greater visual fidelity. You also get increased anti-aliasing and increased post-processing. So I turned anti-aliasing and post-processing from medium to high, I believe. So there you go. Pretty stable, as you can see, no frame dips. Just capped the game at 30 FPS. Although the experience is not the same, you have more stability during fights and action sequels. You don't see the frame rate go down or up or anything. So the bummer is you have to play at 30 FPS, which is a worse gaming experience than 60 FPS.
Think we should check that out?
So yeah, the 5700 XT is still a pretty good graphics card. Don't need to worry about playing next generation games on PC with less graphical settings than the consoles. Although the 5700 XT, in my opinion, the only disadvantage concerning next generation is ray tracing. So there's no ray tracing allowed. I don't know if ray tracing will continue to be as heavy in games as it is right now. The performance penalty is too great for me to even consider buying a ray tracing with a graphics card with ray tracing capabilities. For example, such as the new RX series. I know the performance is much worse than the RTX cards, but maybe it's a software thing. Maybe something along the way will fix it, like a patch or something. But for now, the penalty is just too great for me to even consider it. And I think most people just enjoy playing with high performance and good visual quality only in rasterization mode. So
Check it out.
yeah, as you can see, it's still a very capable GPU. It matches in, as we are going to see next, it even surpasses the capacities from the consoles at their performance and quality mode. So next up, we will see my performance mode, the way I play it at 60 FPS on my PC, and the quality mode, which is my quality mode, the way I play at 30 FPS on my PC, and the way the GPU handles all of these things.
You're a lifesaver, you know that? Looking good, buddy.
So here we are in the third part of the video. So we're checking my performance mode, my chosen performance mode. I turned dynamic resolution on because although there's more frame dips, the game maintains a constant 60 FPS more often. And you know, it really takes work from the GPU, and when you're upscaling the image to 4K like I'm doing on my 4K 40-inch Samsung TV, you really don't notice it when it changes resolution. It's something very subtle. So here we are playing at 1440p. Remember, this is the console's, or at least Xbox Series X, resolution mode or quality mode. It targets 30 FPS at 1440p with the settings mostly turned to high. Here we are playing at 60 FPS at 1440p with all settings turned up except for maybe anti-aliasing, which is on high. So as you can see, the RX 5700 XT surpasses the Xbox Series X performance in this game and gives you a better gaming experience at 60 FPS.
BD, what's this? Yes, let's take a look. Yeah, let me see. Ready to move on?
And now finally we've come to the last part of the video, which is my chosen quality mode. As you can see on my PC, we are playing at 30 FPS, native 4K, so 2160p, with all settings turned up to epic and no dynamic resolution.
I'll never break his guard.
So the Xbox Series X, I'm sure it's capable of playing this game at high to epic settings, with a mix of high to epic settings at 30 FPS, native 4K. We've seen it do with other games, so I think it's just a backwards compatibility thing. Maybe a patch will come out in the future for Jedi Fallen Order. I don't think they will do a remastered version for the new consoles of this game. But for now, the only quality mode you have in the Xbox Series X is 1440p 30 FPS, and the 5700 XT here is playing at native 4K 30 FPS with all settings turned up and no dynamic resolution. And as you can see, it's a walk in the park for the GPU. CPU doesn't have a really big role here, especially at 30 FPS in this resolution. It wouldn't have at 4K 60, but obviously the 5700 XT isn't able to run this game at 60 FPS in 4K mode, only with low settings on, and it's just too much of a graphical sacrifice to take to play at 4K when it just doesn't justify it. But if you play at 30 FPS like I'm doing here, which has all the whistles and bells turned up, there you go. So again, in quality mode, the 5700 XT surpasses the Xbox Series X quality mode. So here's another game that you don't have to worry if you have a 5700 XT with a good system behind it. So guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take care and enjoy the rest of the gameplay.
It was Cordova's. He was troubled by endless war, determined that the Jedi were making a mistake and what he was doing here was more important.